Dennis Wheatley, Letter to Posterity. Roger Morneau, ex-Satanist, Roger Morneau, talking about mesmerism and the great controversy in the end. Narcissism, and an example of how it ties all in. Now, thank God for the last 10 years where we had an explosion of the exposure of what narcissism is through especially the narcissistic mother. Because if you can call out your own mother, you can call out anything, can't you? And I'll give you an example of one of the first revelations I had when I realized what narcissism really was and how they behave. I had a neighbor who is this lady, older than me, but she kind of took me under her wing. We were both walking our dogs on the giant, trail system behind her thing. So it was good, and of course I ended up having to babysit her dog a few times, but she loved to show me her house. They're very house proud. But my point is this. She showed me a broom that she's like, this is the best broom. She was drooling over the broom outside on her beautiful deck that was covered, but she would tell me how she'd sweep every morning, this broom. And then she made it sound so good after gushing about how good this broom was that sure enough, within the next day or two, I went to the store and got the same broom. Within about a week, I found out the broom really sucked. Then, within about 3 weeks, of course, she was back to the corn broom. She never said, gee, I was wrong. She never said anything, and I didn't bring it up. I just observed. Looking back, I see that that's the form of mesmerism that they do. And Roy Masters talks about this too. Hypnosis, because you're kind of traumatized. They know that you're in a state of trauma, so you're highly suggestible. Everyone is. I was highly suggestible since the movie Bambi, because now that I think of it, it made you cry, didn't it? If it made you cry, you're done. And of course it's going to make you cry, because who doesn't cry about a cute little thumper? So the point is this. That broom, I'm talking like serious salesmanship on that broom. And then of course they found out it's not so good. But of course, when they change their mind, no big deal. They don't realize how they had built you up in your brain. Now, this is narcissism, and there's many playbooks of the narcissist. This is where the word playbook really should come from, is actual narcissistic behavior. Now, and you should be wiggling your hips. This is disco. Actually, it's like belly dancing. You should be releasing those joints in the hip. That's important. Of course, they don't want the hey, what's this? Anyway, the point is this. The point is, mesmerism, as was going to be pushed, is Satanism, is communism, is narcissism. Get it? Jesus, we're here to break the hypnosis and go to break it from everything. And Roy Masters came close to this. Dennis Wheatley, I want to tell you, he was a writer. A lot of his movies became movies. It was inspiration for James Bond. The most important part I'm going to tell you is right now. And the reason is this. Come and join the party dressed to kill. Communist Party. Won't you come and join the party dressed to kill? To kill. People forget. Okay, so don't forget. Please, let me get back to Dennis Wheatley. In his letter to posterity, which you can download anytime you want and read it, it's only about 5 pages, he's a warning to posterity. And you should be making your own letters to posterity, each and every one of you. What he said was you should actually have home groups of people talking. But they exploded that. People don't even talk in the hair salon anymore because there's no such thing as a proper hair salon. But what he said was, in politics, it says here, that his work reflects his conservative worldview. A lot of his stuff, like I said, was inspired the guy who wrote a lot of the James Bond movies. Anyways, he supports the monarchy, the British Empire, etc. He was an opponent of Nazism and communism, believing the latter to be controlled by satanic power. We must not ignore the conclusions that people arrive at in their elder years, in the golden years, as David Bowie would say, the golden years. Come and join the party dressed to kill. And Pete Townsend says it too. Come and join the party dressed to kill. The party. And then Xanadu, this movie was panned like crazy by the critics. Well, in my opinion, it's one of the greatest movies ever made, man. I mean, it's got the best dancing, it's got normal people, it doesn't have all these hammy actors. I don't want to see acting. Don't act, man. Tell me a story and relay the character in the way that the story should be the forefront, not the fucking actors. Okay? I don't give a shit about these actors. It should be upholding an actual story, and this movie is awesome because this, if I could roller skate, I would be a happy person. If I could roller skate, but I don't have the ability because I got something wrong with my, collagen. I'm a little too hyper flexible. So, but look at this. Look at this. Xanadu. And it's based on that Tennyson poem, was it? I'm not sure which the poet, but it's like something in Xanadu. And then it's got Gene Kelly in it, and the hot Michael Beck, who was the hot from The Warriors. And like I was 12 when this came out. I mean, I didn't know this would all be gone away. We used to go to our roller rinks. We didn't have this middle roller rink, but we used to go when I was 12 to these roller rinks, JJ's Crystal Palace in Surrey, and we had them in Abbotsford. We had them like trickled everywhere around the country. In the late 1979, the malls showed up, and the fun, beautiful, colorful, comfortable clothes. Look at I'm trying to zoom in on how you can dance. And like that song in National Lampoon's European Vacation by Dr. John. He said, "There's Gene Kelly on roller skates." He said, if it don't get a second glance or make you feel good when you dance, then it's a no. And that was when they were in the thing buying clothes in Europe. If you can't dance in it, and you can't, like this guy's hot, and she married him. Anyways, very hot young man. She liked the younger ones. But anyways, look at the dancing. Even Olivia Newton-John did some excellent dancing in this with Gene Kelly. The critics hated it. And it got laughed at, mocked, shamed, shunned. So maybe that should be the rule of thumb now. Your rule of thumb is that if the critics on the Internet of Things, if they hate something, then you better damn well go and like it and get it and look at it and study it. Because when they want to hide something from you, it's the flying monkeys. It's the that's another thing about the narcissists. They always have their little flying monkeys that are their fans. Although it's not a good relationship because they know they're the useful idiots. You know what a useful idiot is. We know what a useless idiot is, but a useful idiot is someone who is useful, just useful as a flying monkey, or a better word even, let's call it the enabler.
Have you ever watched Intervention, all about drug addiction and how to get them to stop their drugs? You have to get rid of the enabler first, because if the enablers keep enabling, that thing is not going to stop, and they're going to die before they hit rock bottom. So the premise is that you must raise the bottom before they hit, and when that person hits rock bottom before they die, then they still have a chance to shape up and start living gentle and humble and generous and good life, full of all kinds of delights, because the delights are many. They're just being undermined by the enemy of your soul. There's that hot guy again. Yeah, you got to be able to move like this, otherwise your pants are showing your ass crack. And I don't want to see giant bubble butt implants. Like, that's not the shape of a human body. If you want the shape of a human body, like they're showing us people in commercials with like they're about 400 pounds and yet they can do the splits and bend over backwards. Well, give me a break. What kind of a thing is that? It's a clone. Clone. Your hips are supposed to be like, here you go. That's a proper body. That's a proper body shape, body type. And at the waist is way up there. Okay. Anyways. Once you ruin our eyeballs, you're getting in one of the gates of your temple. Do not let the beast sit in the gates of your mind.